We're going to take a quick look. That's an oxymoron. I never took a quick look. We're going to take a look at 3 70s Martin D's that I've been finishing up. These guitars are all in a triage video that I did months ago. And I'm going to put a link to that video at the end of this video so you can go see what it is that I dealt with on these guitars. I'm not going to do an A-B comparison because they're all really different. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play them a little bit, talk about them, and tell you what I did to them. And no, it'll make a lot more sense if you go watch that triage video so you can see what I did. So, anyway, this is a, I don't know what year they are. They're all 70s, they're all mid-70s and that kind of thing. This is D35. Like that. This is what I probably did the least to. The owner said that he didn't want to make it into something that it wasn't. He just wanted to fix the problems that it had. So the problems it had were the large rosewood bridge plate. Bridge was out of position. And that's really about it. He's got the stock Grover Rotomatic tuners on there. The bone nut was pretty good. The spacing was off just a little bit here and there, but it's not bad. So we left it alone. He had a fresh Evo refret. I said that I might do a neck reset, and I might not. I wasn't sure. I ended up not doing a neck reset. It's had a neck reset, and I honestly couldn't remember if I did one on this or not. I see a tiny little hole here where somebody has done one, it looks like, but I don't remember if I did this with it or not. So let's just assume I didn't do the reset on it. I did scoot the bridge back, and I put a small maple bridge plate on it. The saddle is pretty good. You know, it's a little bit on the low side, but it's got a good bite on all the strings, and so, you know, I thought we'd just leave it alone. Here's what the saddle looks like. Let's get up here and see if you can see that. It's just a little bit low, but it's, you know, it's not bad. And like I said, it's got a good bite, really good bite on the low E. He had a large saddle slot in there where somebody tried to scoot it back a little bit. They didn't quite get it. I went ahead and cut it where it's supposed to be. So it's in good shape. And the bridge scoot on this one came out really particularly good. Look at that. Let's get up here. We're not getting very good light. Let's get some good light on this guitar. All right. That bridge got scooted back, not quite 1/8 of an inch, and I got a little bit lucky on this one because there was some original finish underneath here, so I used that. I touched it up just a little bit, and I think I trimmed the bridge back just a little bit to make it fit in the hole, in the footprint better. Well, that's all it's got done to it. It's got light gauge strings on it because that's what the owner had on it. I put those Diodaria light gauge back on it. And, you know, here we go. So this is what I would call mostly a 70s with the corrected stuff. You know, I didn't modify hardly anything except the bridge plate. But it wouldn't kill it to have a small bridge plate from the factory anyways. Now they do, you know. So, okay, let's see what it sounds like. Sounds like a nice clean D35. I think it's less muddy than it was. I feel the weight on the headstock just a little bit, but you know, wants to fall here. I'm just used to lighter tuners on it, and it's not bad. I took the K&K pickup out, and I plugged the hole with the dowel, put a new end pin in it, You can see a little bit of the dark dowel wood around the sides if you look, but it's not objection. But you got to, what's in there rattling around? Find out what that is. I vacuum these out, but there's always pieces of spray wood rattling around. Oh, it's a washer from the pickup. I got to get that out of there. So, see what it sounds like with a capo on it. I do notice the light gauge strings a little bit on the treble strings, and that's why even if I use lights, I would go to a 13 and a 17. It's funny. I mean, just 1/1000th of an inch there, it's just a little thin feeling to me. The action's great though. Sorry to go a little bit out of tune. It's good. I like it. I just strung it up 15 minutes ago, It's been strung up for a while, but it's just got the knee saddle in it, so. Got a good neck on it. It's a comfortable guitar, so. I might end up adjusting the action just a little bit. I felt that low E maybe just a little bit high. He says he wants it semi-slinky. So it's there, Yeah, I'm going to leave it strung up for about a week or so and then recheck the action on it, see how it's doing. So, all right, let's look at the next one. It's guitar number 2, and this is one that in the triage video, I mentioned that I don't really think this is Sitka. I think this has got to be Engelmann or something. The color is very yellow. Let me get this other guitar over here, and I will show you. Okay, hope you can see the color difference on there. This one's definitely Sitka. It's a brown color, but look at the yellow on this one. It's a different color altogether, and to me, that's the first thing I notice about non-Sitka guitars. The color is different on them, and this one also has some problems because it's got 2 cracks up here in the top that I tried to see. I think I did a video on this one where I tried sealing these 2 things. I cannot keep them completely closed. Takes a lot. They're sealed now, but they still are not tightly sealed, not together. It takes a ton of humidity to shut these cracks up on this guitar. Too much humidity. So, there's just little things like that kind of make me say that this is not a Sitka top. It might be an Engelmann spruce top, and maybe it wasn't quite well seasoned enough from the factory. It's dried out some. So those cracks have cleats in them. They're not any cause for concern, but it's interesting the way that they're parallel right here. And so I think there's a weak grain line right here because those cracks are both about the same spot off the center seam right here, which indicates to me that in the original spruce, they book match them, so they split the spruce and open it up like this. So when you get 2 cracks in the same spot, it indicates a weak grain line. So anyway, I did what I could do. And this is also the guitar that got some heat damage from when I removed the bridge plate. I had another video on that where I showed how I repaired that as best as I could. Sprayed it with lacquer melt, let that melt in, then I buffed it out. It looks pretty good. You can see the difference in color when you turn it around like this. That's called chatoyance. Big fancy name there. That's the reflection of light off the top. You can never, ever get a finish repair to not show that chatoyance, because when you spray an original finish, it all goes down in one coat, basically. And so it's all going to reflect the same. And when you add new finish into there, it's going to reflect a slightly different color. So you can see it if you look at it, but it's not too bad. In fact, the finish is cracked through it. It's got a lot of finish cracks on it, so it's cracked through it. So, you know, it looks pretty decent. It's not like the guitar is cosmetically pure anyways with these things. I did seal those up. It's got the work I did to it. That happens on the bridgeplate. You know, that, like I said before when I was doing the repair, doing the bridgeplate is one of the most dangerous things I do, and maybe 1 out of 20 guitars will get a little bit of heat damage for some reason or another. My experience with the heat damage is there's something different about the finish, or maybe the wood has got more moisture into it or something, and you have absolutely no warning. It's just, boom, all of a sudden there's bubbles in the finish, and you're like, pfft. I did, on the day I pulled this bridgeplate, I did 5 bridge plates. This is the only one that gave me any bit of trouble. The rest of them just peeled out right away. This one was really hard to get out. It took a little bit more heat than normal. And when I pulled the cooling rags off, it had bubbled. And not only that, but it continued to bubble just a little bit as I went along. It was like, you know. What else? When I did the bridge scoot, this one didn't come out quite as pretty. It's got a dark line right here. Again, you know, that was something with the finish going on there. It was really dirty underneath here. That happens with ebony sometimes. It stains that wood, and it's just really hard to clean out. I didn't want to, you know, sand it down too much. I don't want to weaken this spot too much up in here. So the color match is really good. It's just got a dark line right in front of it. That's how it goes, you know. So I'm going to show you that. So this is a bridge scoot that's kind of like, I don't know, average-ish, you know. Maybe a little worse than average. I don't know. Let's get it in here. See, take a look. There it is. I haven't got quite enough light in here. It's getting to be a little bit later in the day. It's getting to be a little bit later in the day, and I haven't got quite enough light in the room. So on this guitar, I did the tuners. I did a bone nut. I did a full Evo refret. I think I took the popsicle brace out. Yeah, I took the popsicle brace out, and I made a little bit of a wider my brace in here. My brace is a trapezoidal brace, which fits between the neck block and the sound hole brace, and it tries to come out to the edge here so that you clear the sound hole. I felt like there was the start. No, this one's good. I just felt like it needed that, you know, given the grain here. This grain line, if you see, guns all the way up in here under the fingerboard. And I thought if this grain line was weak, it's also weak right under the fingerboard. So that's why I put just a little bit of extra support into it. So the tuners, the nut, Evo, did a neck reset on it, popsicle braces out, scooted the bridge back. I think I made a new bridge for it. I got to look at my spec sheet. That looks like my bridge anyways. It's got a long saddle. On the pickguard, he kind of wanted to keep the black pickguard. So I had an original 70's pickguard that I put on here and stuck on there. It's glued on right now. And there you go. Little bit of shrinkage around the edge, but that's fine because that's what the 70's do. And so that's like a re-glued 70's pickguard there. Got a long saddle on it. It's got ebony pins on it right now because I'm out of white ones. But you know, the ebony pins are pretty good with all the other black that's going on in this guitar. They kind of go good with the black pickguard and the fingerboard and all that. And I don't have a problem at all with non-slotted ebony pins, and they look good. This guitar is not scalloped yet. I did a bridge plate on it, and I don't remember what I used on the bridge plate off the top of my head. I have to look in there and see. But I did a small bridge plate. I wanted to see what it sounded like before I scalloped it. And the action's plenty low right now. If I scallop it and the top rises just a little bit, that's no problem. I got lots of saddle. I was prepared for that. So I wanted to see what it sounds like. This is actually the first time I played this one too. So let's see what it sounds like. Medium gauge Diodario's. You can hear a little bit of that tight nasally bass here. It's not bad though. It's pretty, you know. It's just a little tight nasally. So we'll see. We'll see whether I scallop this one or not. So. Pretty sure I did 2 1/4 inch bridge spacing. That feels like it, and if so, that's my bridge for sure. So, all right. I think it sounds pretty good. We might do just a little bit of extra space scalloping. I want to see what the top does in attention. So far, it looks great. I don't think it's going to hurt it to scallop, but we'll see what the owner thinks. Let's go up here to A. Get that capo on there. See, I like that. That or treble. Listening to the guitar still. I'm still listening to the guitar, not listening to the song. And it's like something I don't have to listen to. Same tune. That sounds pretty good in A, you know. Let's see. totally on the fence about scalloping this. And when I go up to A, it sounds great. And probably that's just where it's a slightly higher pitch, so it cancels out that little bit of nasaliness on the low end. In other words, as you get lower and lower and lower, that's when the nasal comes out. And when you get up into the higher reaches, then it's not noticeable. Then it's punchy. So, like E, for instance. Sounds pretty good. Just on that G note. Barely, you know. It's coming alive where I'm getting used to it. There's no problems there, man. That's a nice, sharp biting guitar there. So this is a 70's D28. This would be like one step up from the D35. So I did the tuners, I did the nut, I did the popsicle brace. Those things are different from the D35, so it's kind of more into that modified 70's. The only thing I haven't done to this is scalloped braces. And maybe not here. You know, it's not a fully modified 70's, but it's another step up from the D35. And I pulled the pickup on this one too, or at least I filled the pickup hole. I think he had a pickup in it. Same deal. See that? I use a dark dowel. There's no way to blend in here. The only way to make a pickup jack completely invisible is to remove the binding here, the perforating, the end cap, the end stuff. I don't know what it's called. The end stuff here, and to put new stuff in there. I've seen, like Frank Ford has a video, not a video, but a tutorial on doing that. We did it like on a pre-war Martin, and the goal was to completely hide it. Just sticking a dowel in there and redrilling for this is a simple, clean, cheap way to do it. If I was to do this and do all that and do the finish, it'd be $200. I mean, it's a lot of work. So I don't try to match anything to this white because it's just never going to work. Instead, what I do is go ahead and make a dark circle so it kind of blends into the rosewood. You put that end pin on there, and the end pin covers 7/8 of it anyways. So, all right, this has got a nice neck. This is nice. I'm a little bit more comfortable on this one than I am on the D35 for some reason. I'm going to take another look at the 35 and see if I can figure out why I'm a little bit more comfortable. For one thing, the action's lower on this one. This action is really low right now. Super slinky. Super easy. Yeah. Super easy to play. Plus they're medium gauge strings, which I'm a little bit more used to. I'm used to that push just a little bit. So this guitar is just a little bit more comfortable. 2 1/4 inch bridge spacing doesn't hurt. Probably the action and the 2 1/4, and the neck has got a nice V to it. 70's E28 neck, which is what I really like. So let's take a look at the other one. Guitar number 3 here. We had just a glimpse of this the other day in that video I did on whether I'm taking new work or not. This one's a fully modified 70's, early 70s, 72, 71, something like that. Fully modified. Tuners, bone nut. I did not do frets on this one. Didn't need them. Frets are in great shape. Neck reset, popsicle brace, maple bridge plate. I used his bridge, scooted it back. Scalloped the braces, just the X braces. Worked on some of the cracks right here. It's got a big crack right in here. Somebody had just had a big scar. Had a gooey scar. So I worked on that a little bit, smoothed it down. You can still feel it, but it's closed up and everything. It's got a crack right here. This one was on the verge of having a popsicle brace failure. There's a crack right here on the side of the fingerboard, which the only way you're going to get that is if this shifts and starts cracking into there. So when I did the triage video, I said this one is what I call it, a hospital case. I mean, this one's in need of some surgery. So I pulled the popsicle brace and I did my brace, and again I made it a little bit wider so that it catches this crack that's right here. My brace comes over and catches the very edge of this crack right here. Help give it a little bit of support. He's going to do his own pick guard. Somebody else has worked on this before, and they put lacquer finish down over here. That's not my finish. They did a good job on it. It's nice and level and everything, but they got a little bit of dark going around here, which the new pick guard is going to hide. The bridge screw on this one was the ugliest of the bunch. This one had a really, really bad stain underneath it. The wood was really chewed up underneath it, like the bridge had been off before or something like that, but maybe not, but it was really black and ugly under there. In fact, I took it off and I went, oh man, and I put it in the cage for about a month before I got up the willpower to do it, you know. So it's got a very dark scar because of that. I cleaned it up as best as I could. But that's the worst scar of the three that we're looking at today. So let's get this one up here and take a look at it. Trying to get some light on this. Well, I guess it shows something that is, I'm having trouble getting the scar to show. But I think you can see it back here even just a little bit, you know. So, but it doesn't matter. It's got plenty of cracks and finish checks and everything. Cosmetics are the least of our issues here. So, terrific neck on this guitar. It's even better than, it's the best neck, 70's neck I've had quite a while. It feels fat. You could tell me it was a 1 in 23 seconds and I would believe you. Fully modified 70's D28. Fullness out of the G note there. What a good guitar. Super easy to play, sounds great, got a great neck on it. Got no issues with this guitar at all. Let's caper that one. Yeah, this is a good one. They're all good ones, but this one has a little something extra that just makes it comfortable for me. They've gotten more and more comfortable as I've gone through the three of them, and the neck is so much of this. The neck on this one was just perfect. perfect. The other D28, pretty close to perfect, but this one feels just a little bit wider here. A little bit. You know, it's just one of those very subtle things. I love that. You know, but it's not boomy. You know, it's not woof, woof. It's just a pop. It's more like a snare drum. Pop. And again, that shows up in your rhythm with that. A nice one. This is good one. Let's see what this one got for pins. This has got gala lift, white pins with black dots on it. No big deal. Well, I guess this is ready to go. This one I did 3 saddles for him, and this is the lowest saddle. The others are all higher, so you could adjust them wherever you wanted to. But this is the lowest one, and this is where I would set the action. He thinks he wants a little bit higher action, so that's fine. The other saddles will do that. This one's not glued in. When you glue that saddle in, you're going to get just even a little bit more out of it. It's just this. It fits pretty good. I mean, it's a good, it's a good tight fit and everything. But I don't know. My experience, when you glue that saddle in, it just locks it down, and it's going to get just a little bit more sound out of it. So, wow, man, I've had this one for a long time. This is the one I've had since February, and like I said, it sat for a month after I took the bridge off because it was like, oh man, I don't want to handle it. I don't want to deal with this ugly bridge right now. So, but I did eventually get around to it, and there it is. This is definitely Sitka, compared to the other. I mean, there's no question. I've got the silking. I've got the little silky rays in here. This is Sitka, but that other D20, I swear, I would not be surprised if it's Engelmann, and it's got a different tone to it. Even though it's not scalloped, it's still got a nice, sweet tone to it, which Engelmann has a sweeter tone. Sitka has a little bit of a dirty, rough sound to it. I hear that on this one. There's no way in the world I would say this is anything but Sitka, But the other one, it's Engelmann. All right, there's our 3 guitars, and I got another one next time. I have an HD28 LSV coming up that's going to be fully modified. I haven't had one of those on the good microphone and the good camera and all that I've never had one. It's been a long time since I've had an LSV. So that'll be the next guitar. I've got just a few more things to do to it. And you can watch for it, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday or something like that. And this is going to be interesting because it's a guitar that does not need a neck reset. In fact, it is the opposite way. Well, I've talked about before, where it has a fairly tall saddle and an extremely low action. So we're going to cover that one. And I'm going to tell you why I really would prefer the opposite, a guitar that needs a neck reset, because I can put that where I want it. The only way I'm going to get that LSV proper is to do a reverse neck reset on it. Now, what I'm going to do on it, not to get ahead of myself here, but what I'm going to do to it is just leave it with a slinky action. And it'll never need a neck reset, So, anyway, that's our 3 70s. Man, a lot of variety on that. The D35, that is like barely modified, just a bridge plate, and then after that, it was just good running condition. Knocked it into tune. Then the one D28, which was fully modified except for the scalloping. And then this D28, which is fully modified. As far as I usually go, it's got scalloped X braces, but not scalloped tone bars. So we get stepping up in the modification madness. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.